This show is all about sharing the stories and profiles of the people that are making it happen. Making it happen in business, these are people that are taking innovative entrepreneurship and turning it into success. I'm thrilled to be joined with my friend and one of those people that meet that profile, Mark Lawrence of SpotHero.com. Mark, thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Of course. So, Mark, tell us about what SpotHero actually is. Tell us about your business.
So SpotHero allows you to reserve a parking spot ahead of time. You can purchase it on an app. We're available for iPhone and Android. And basically, you put in where you're going, you search available spots, and you can book it with one click. You know exactly where you're going to park, and you know exactly how much you're going to pay.
And I can imagine that this wasn't an idea that started in the shower one morning. How did this idea sort of develop? How did you turn it into reality?
Well, I like to drive, but I don't like to park. And so my co-founder and I, Jeremy Smith, we were friends, and basically, we had gotten a lot of parking tickets, and we had figured that there was a better way to know where you can park, to actually pay, and to get parking spot with ease, and thus the idea of SpotHero was born.
I'm amazed that you were able to start a business after getting parking tickets. I'm amazed. One of the things that we all know when you start a business is you need to have some capital. So I give you a lot of credit for being able to get past those parking tickets and past the high cost of gasoline and parking fees in order to be able to make this a reality. So, Mark, is SpotHero based in Chicago?
Yeah, SpotHero is based in Chicago, and our headquarters are right in River North.
That's cool. And the parking solutions, is it only in Chicago, or have you sort of replicated the model and done it elsewhere as well?
Oh, so we've replicated the model and have since expanded to a bunch of different cities, New York City, Washington, D.C., Boston. We're in quite a few cities, and we're going to be expanding further.
And as you say, those city names, I think of all of my travels, all of my business travel, and all the awful, awful experiences that I've had, renting a car and trying to find spaces to park. And your app has saved me time. It saved me money. And I know that's what our listeners want to hear. So that's really cool. And so how many people do you have now on the SpotHero team?
So right now we have 22 people full-time on the SpotHero team, and we got a few spots that we're hiring for.
Awesome. And so hopefully before the end of this segment, we'll be able to share that information, both how people can get in touch with you, but also how people can find out about those opportunities. The show is all about entrepreneurship, which you certainly exemplify, but also about jobs. And if you're growing and you're bringing people on, we'd love to get the word out about there. So how many people do you hope to get on the app?
Well, we want this to be the app for parking. So when you think of, a taxi, you're going to think of Uber. When you think of food, you're going to think of Grubhub. When you want to park, there's SpotHero.
That's awesome. And again, tell us what platforms people can get this on. iPhone, Android, you said?
Yes, we have a website at SpotHero.com, or you can download it on Android or iPhone. And what's nice is you can get discounts of up to 80% by booking a reservation at a parking garage. You don't have to circle around, being stressed or worried. You can literally go, in a lot of cases, scan your phone, it lets you in, and scan and lets you right out.
That's awesome. So do you have any of the stories of some of the successes or really funny stories of people that really have been saved by SpotHero? Any interesting stories that you could share with our listeners?
We get a lot of, different, stories from people. It's interesting because a lot of the saves are things that we experienced ourselves. And so I think, some of the funniest are people say, this actually worked. Like, they didn't think it would work. It's really nice to hear when someone is like, I used to be stressed about coming into the city. Now I don't stress anymore because I can park with SpotHero and I can just worry about where I'm going and what I'm going to do instead of where am I going to park.
That's awesome. And so changing gears for a moment, what advice can you share to young professionals like yourself to help them turn their ideas into reality? You made something happen. You're now, have grown a team of people. You're now in multiple markets. What advice can you share with other people in our age bracket, people that might have an idea? How did you make it happen?
So I think I would focus on how do you get it to the next step? Instead of just this large idea of, okay, it's going to be everywhere, I'm going to have this many people, I need this much capital. It's what is the minimum that it takes to get to the next step? Usually you don't need money, you just need yourself, right? That real next step, that minimum, they call it minimum viable product, but like the very minimal to actually get it moving forward, and then keep incrementally getting it to that next step, and over time it will become something much larger.
And staying focused. Staying focused is important. You clearly, I hear it in your voice, you've got that passion for entrepreneurship, that drive to make things happen, and you're doing it. So that's exciting. You are focused, and hopefully that can be a lesson to some of our fellow entrepreneurs that are out there. So we've got just under a minute remaining. How can people find you, SpotHero, and more information about the app?
So you can go to SpotHero.com and see, which cities we're in, information about the app. If you have, you can go to Google Play or the iPhone and download our app and see available parking spaces. If anyone has questions, they can call us directly, 312-566-7768, or email us, support@SpotHero.com.
And you mentioned that there are actually job opportunities with your team as well on the website.
Yeah, SpotHero.com/jobs, and we've got a couple of different positions open, and that's changing, from time to time based on when people apply. So definitely check it out.
Fantastic. Thanks, Mark, for joining us. After the break, we're going to be talking with Paul Rosengarten of Suits 2020. Thanks, Mark, for joining the show. Looking forward to continuing to share those stories of entrepreneurial successes right here on Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein.